Wow. I love Gypsy Kings type of music, right? Like this was not the Gypsy Kings, but definitely I love that music and the Spanish guitar, man. Whoa. Hello, my friends. Welcome. My name is Jesus DJ Perez, and so good to see you. Hello, Elisa. So good to see you here, my love. Thank you so much for being here today. I love you. I love you. I hope you were enjoying a little bit of a Spanish flamenco there going on at the beginning of this live stream. My friends, my pleasure to be here this evening. My name is Jesus DJ Perez. It is like I said, my absolute pleasure to be live streaming with you this Tuesday evening. And you know what? We have been super excited all day. We're doing a lot of work behind the scenes, doing a lot of amazing work for my beautiful Elisa and on her own stuff. And it's just been one of those unreal days. Glad to be here tonight and able to spend some amazing evening with you. So my friends, every night in our local time, I suppose, I like to live stream and bring you empowering messages. And I know that for some of our viewers from the Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, and that part of the world, it's already a different time zone. So good morning to you, my friends. Thank you so much to our amazing communities all the way across the world, as well to all of our amazing communities here in North America, Canada, Mexico, the States, Central America, South America. Thank you so much, my friends. And of course, our amigos from España and our amazing followers from Europe. Thank you. I acknowledge you all, and I am so deeply honored to have you follow my content. So, my friends, this evening, I want to get down to the nitty gritty, to the beef and the meat and the potatoes, right? I want to get right away into things. It's super quick, right? And what I wanted to share with you is a story, a beautiful story from something that happened a while back. And if this is your first time watching my videos, well, let me tell you that I am a storyteller and I love telling stories. And I absolutely love teaching through stories. You know what I mean? My teachings of simple life lessons, I use those teachable moments that I get to go through in life, and I find the teachable moments, the opportunities to empower our communities, right? So this evening, the message I have for you is, about wisdom and whether we are ready to receive wisdom or not. And when wisdom comes and is right there, slapping you right on the face, and we are just not ready to jump on that wagon, right? Like we're just not ready to make the best of the wisdom that is being presented to us. And oh my God, like how many times have you been in a situation where something is so clear, so loud, that is right in front of your face, but yet you don't do anything about it because you are just not listening. Your body is not listening, your mind is not listening, you're simply not ready to listen to the message, even though that the message has been told to you so many times. Have you been there before? Drop in the comments below. I have the chat enabled here and I love interaction, so thank you so much, and thank you so much for being here. It's so amazing to connect with all of you guys through chat and be able to chit chat and get to know you more. So my friends, the story that I'm telling you about the wisdom, whether you are ready or not, it remotes back to probably about 15 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. See, and I laugh because all of my stories go, it's like one of those story books that you read. Once upon a time, I should say, once upon a time, there was a season in my life where, but yeah, once upon a time, there was a season where I had an opportunity to have a conversation with my beautiful bride, Elisa. And you see, when I was talking to her about something as simple as coconut oil, something as simple as coconut oil. So you see, I use simple life lessons to make a story out of it. And not only that, but to find a teachable moment. So with the coconut oil story that I'm about to tell you, it's actually one of those teachable lessons that I actually teach at a deeper level, at a deeper capacity within my group programs. But I'm not here to tell you about my group programs right now, right? I want to tell you the story because, that's what I really want to tell you. And the main point of the story about the coconut oil, my friends, is that my wife went to somewhere and she came back and she's like, hey, guess what? I know about coconut oil, and coconut oil is so good for our bodies. And she started to give me the whole speech, right? She started to tell me everything about the coconut oil, and I'm just there watching at her and listening to her, and I'm like, all right, well, sure, whatever, coconut oil. And she's like, we should totally buy some coconut oil. And I said, okay, sure, let's buy some coconut oil. Why not? What the heck, right? So we bought the coconut oil, but that's as far as it went in my mind. See, for me, it was like, yeah, whatever, we're buying another one of those things that somebody told you is good, and then we're not going to listen to it, and we're not, yeah, whatever. So I ignore her wisdom, and I ignore her knowledge about the coconut oil, okay? So what I did at that point is I ended up just dismissing that information for a whole year, man, for a whole year. And it wasn't until I went to see one of my friends at his restaurant. And his restaurant, it was about a block away, and I got there and we started to enjoy some food, and we were talking, and then he said to me, DJ, did you know about coconut oil? What do you know about coconut oil? I said, what do you mean, what do I know about coconut oil? He's like, well, my friend, coconut oil is so good for your body. Coconut oil has all these benefits, and guess what? It tastes even good. I was like, wow, seriously, it actually tastes good? And he's like, yeah. Have you ever tried coconut oil? I was like, no, my wife has it at home, and she told me about all these, but I honestly don't remember much of it. So he said, well, you know what? You gotta try it, especially when you add it to your eggs in the morning. You crack a couple eggs and sunny side up over easy or whatever with a little bit of coconut oil instead of butter, right? And it's like, oh my God, it's so good. It enhances the flavor and you can really enjoy the eggs. And I was like, really? Really? I was like, oh my God, then I gotta go try coconut oil tomorrow with my eggs. So guess what happened? Probably know where this is going now. We probably know where this is going. Well, next morning I got up. My wife was still asleep, and I got up before anyone else. And I went to the kitchen. I made myself some eggs. And it just so happened that we had the coconut oil still sitting in our pantry. So I make the eggs, I make breakfast, and I use coconut oil, right, for everyone to enjoy breakfast. And then when my wife comes out of the bedroom and she's like, all right, let's have breakfast, and we sit down and I'm like, oh my God, guess what? Guess what? And she's looking at me like, what's going on with you? I say, I was talking to my buddy Bob yesterday at his restaurant, and he told me about these amazing coconut oil benefits and how good it tastes and how much better it is for your body. And and I just made these eggs this morning, and wow, the flavor is so good. It just tastes the same. It tastes actually better. Doesn't taste the same, it tastes better. And you cannot even tell the coconut oil flavor. And she just goes to me. And I'm like, what? You remember that story, Liz? She just goes to me, I've been telling you about the coconut oil for over a year, and you didn't care about it. Now that your friend Bob told you about it, now you care about it. Now you're ready to listen because someone else told you about it. Oh, baby, baby, baby. Woo, baby. I looked at her, it's like, no, come on, really? And she's like, I have been telling you about coconut oil for a long time and you didn't care to listen. Well, my friends, the moral of the story is that sometimes we're just not ready to listen to the wisdom that is being shared with us. Sometimes we just choose to neglect, to be selective of what we hear and what we listen. And therefore, because we've been selective, we don't pay attention to what's going on. And, uh, and well, sometimes we have to wait a long time, like in my case, to acknowledge something that is already there. And sometimes, my friend, here's where it gets so interesting. And here's your teaching for you. Are you ready? When God is speaking to you and He's just trying to tell you, and He's right there and showing it to you and showing you His way and showing you what needs to happen and showing you what path you need to take, we also tend to just ignore the message. We tend to neglect the message. We tend to be selective when it comes to listening. If there were only if only there was an emoji for hands on the hips. Yeah, that would be my wife right now. But you see, God speaks to us and He's speaking to us at all the time. And He doesn't only choose one of us or a few of us or a few lucky of us to talk to us. He's reaching out to everyone at all the time. And it's up to each one of us to whether we choose to listen to His voice and His words, or we choose to pretend that we didn't listen because we are too busy being busy. Or perhaps we just on the rat race, trying to catch up on the rat race, and we don't pay attention to what God is telling us. And my friends, a few weeks ago, I was telling you about how important it is to listen. And not just to listen to the voice of God, but to make it more personal, I suppose. We have an opportunity to listen to what our body is telling us. And by listening to what our body is telling us, it can be helping us to have a better outcome, to be proactive, to be preventative about some situation. And if you're watching us on YouTube right now, there is a video right here that I highly encourage you to watch. Highly, highly encourage you to watch because it talks about listening to our body, giving ourselves the chance and opportunity to listen and to acknowledge what our body is saying, right? That's how I'm taking it into a more personal level, not perhaps at a spiritual level, because I understand that not everybody is interested in developing a spiritual relationship, and I get that, I respect that. I'm not here to impose, I'm not here to convert you, I'm not here to preach at you, I'm simply here to give you a word of encouragement, a word of empowerment. And I use biblical teachings. And my life stories and my own mess, right? Things I have experienced through life to give you a simple life story, a simple teachable moment that perhaps will help you shift your mind and will help you shift things in a different perspective, my friends. Because we always seem to think that we are only alone, that we are only us struggling with things, facing situations that nobody else understands. But my friends, my purpose for me to be here in front of the camera is to encourage you and to remind you that you're not alone, and then we need to pay attention to what our body's telling us, to what God is telling us, and to what life is presenting in front of us. Because otherwise, you're going to be missing a whole year of experience or of opportunities, like it happened to me with the coconut oil. I had to wait a whole year and a bit for me to acknowledge an amazing thing. And let me tell you, my friends, ever since, for the last 10, 12 years or whatever long ago this was, we have coconut oil now at home, and we cook with coconut oil, and it is fantastic, man, My friends, thank you so much for being here this evening. I love you, and you know what? You have a fantastic rest of your evening, and we're gonna conclude this evening right here, right now with this, just so it stays fresh in your mind and you take some action to what's going on with your life, right? So if you have some coconut oil at home that you need to look after, that you need to take care of, Well, you know what? You better start cooking, my friends. We'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Stay empowered and stay beautiful.